I knew there would be some challenges, some ups and downs when starting a new career from scratch. After all, that's what this whole channel is about, showing the ups and downs. Well, I'm definitely going through that right now, so let me tell you a little bit about what happened this week. Welcome back to Day One Voiceover. My name's Robert Zieja, and I'm documenting what it's like to start a new career from scratch in the voiceover business from day one. Now, a lot's happened this week, and most of it has quite honestly been a little discouraging. And I wanted to share a little bit about that because these are the types of moments that really challenge you to get past if you want to succeed in this kind of venture. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what's been going on this week. And I wanted to start, first of all, with some really tough information that I came across, specifically regarding the voiceover business. Now, there are a couple of YouTubers that I love to watch almost on a daily basis, Anthony Pica and Zieja. And both of these guys are established professionals. They have fantastic coaching that they offer, and they both deliver information in very different ways, which in and of itself is pretty encouraging because you see the different personality types that are being very successful in the business. Anthony Pica appears to be a little more laid back, more my style of personality, so it's easy for me to digest. Zieja is something that I kind of aspire to because I've never been one to have that type of energy level. And I don't know if I can ever make it in the voiceover business if I'm asked to do that. But it's still really great to watch these guys and to absorb the information that they give. But coincidentally, both of them shared videos this week that were a little tough to watch for a newcomer like myself. Anthony Pica shared a video talking about how 95% of the people in the voiceover business fail. Those that get started eventually fizzle out, and only about 5% make it. Now, I don't know if those are hard fact numbers, but it's something I'm definitely taking to heart. And one of the reasons why that particular video was a little tough for me to watch was because a lot of the information that he gave on why those 95% fail happened to translate directly from what I used to go through in my prior career. See, I'm a bit of a lifelong salesman, and I've done more than my fair share of cold calling, of email campaigns, and lead follow-ups, and all of that to try and generate business. And it turns out, surprisingly and kind of disappointingly, that the voiceover business requires much of that as well, pretty much on a permanent, endless basis. Now, the difference is, in the corporate world, you're working for some manager multiple levels up above you, some CEO that's making multitudes of money, more than you will ever see, more than I will ever see. Whereas in the voiceover business, I'd be doing that for myself. My motivation is myself and my family. And there's no cap, there's no salary on what I make compared to what I had in the corporate world. And Joe, conversely, shared a video talking about, is it even worth it to get into the voiceover business in 2024? AI has been very disruptive. The internet has expanded so much to make it to, there's a lot more competition out there. But just like Anthony's video left me with a little bit of hope because I have some experience in what supposedly have caused some of these voiceover beginners to fail, with Joe's video, it actually translates directly into what is a good news about this video. So he talks about how while there's a lot of jobs out there that are being taken up by AI, there's still plenty of work available, and specifically in the e-learning field. And I happened to land an e-learning job this past week. A couple weeks ago, I was really excited about that Fiverr gig. Well, I landed a second gig, and it happened to be an e-learning video. And I'm super ecstatic about that because not only was it a bigger project than my first one, which was great, but it was English and Spanish. And I didn't expect to be challenged that way this early on. And I did a corporate kind of e-learning video from start to finish, completely in Spanish and then completely in English. But the really cool thing about it is that it's a big company too, the Dole Corporation. which of course is a global brand. And everyone knows who they are. You probably have products sitting in your pantry and your kitchen right now. So I officially have a logo that I can use that I worked for. I never heard back from my first Fiverr gig, and I don't know if they even liked the final product that I delivered, but so be it. It doesn't help my Fiverr rankings and the algorithm to see if it can help me get more business, but it doesn't matter because it looks like I set up my profile properly anyways and I'm still getting business. Now, 2 jobs in 2 weeks, 1 job every 2 weeks isn't exactly a great pace to be on. But it turns out on Fiverr, there are a lot of people that get started and spend months before they get anything coming in, especially during the summer months, which is what we just officially started last week. I hear that in this voiceover business, the summer months end up being pretty slow. And obviously I'm just going through this for the first time, so I have no point of reference. But getting a second job just 2 weeks after my first was pretty encouraging for me. So on another bit of encouraging news as well is that training that I spoke about 3 weeks ago, that I went to that seminar and they mentioned offering training to veterans, voiceover training for veterans. I'm finally gonna get that started. I got my login information today and I'm ready to jump in. And it turns out Joe Zieja is involved in that too, which was a really cool surprise. So I'm looking forward to that. So the moral of the story here is that when you're going through a venture like this, especially something as big as starting a new career, there's going to be some challenges. There's going to be some pitfalls and some pushback and some discouragement. And that's exactly what I went through this past week and a half. I already started having thoughts of, is this something I want to continue doing going forward? And I'm glad I stayed persistent with it. I'm glad I continued training. I'm glad I continued working with my microphone and my equipment because I was ready for that job when it came in. And they needed it really quickly. The size of the job really should have taken about 3 to 4 days to deliver, but they needed it ASAP. And somehow I pulled it off. And the exchange went really well. We had some great communication, and he did leave me a really fantastic review on my Fiverr profile. So I'm really excited about that. Things are looking up, and we'll see when my next gig comes in. But that's all I wanted to share for this week. Just a bit of a reminder that those ups and downs come, and you got to get past those down times, just like you can't expect the good times to last forever either. You have to maintain a level attitude about this. And maybe that's one of the benefits about starting this at my age. Maybe I come into this with a little more maturity, with some more realistic expectations than I might have in my 20s. There's a lot of ups and downs, obviously, and I said from the start that I would be documenting them. So I'm glad that I was able to share that. But I'm also really glad that I was able to share what it's like to persevere through that and get past those tough times, because good things come from that also. But thanks for watching to the very end. As always, I really appreciate it. Like and subscribe. Leave some comments if this is something that you can provide some feedback on, something that you might have gone through in your own career, persevering through some of the difficult times. But in any case, thanks again, and we'll talk soon.